What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself, and Yowzers, Trousers, and Bowsers, I guess you could say. Today we are fighting the Lavasioth. Now, Lavasioth is a long-standing monster, and truth be told, he got his appearance, his original appearance, I believe, don't quote me on this, I think I'm right, from Monster Hunter Frontier. And that's actually pretty cool because we don't really get things like that from Frontier, because Frontier is largely considered to be the lesser of all the evils of Monster Hunter out there, simply because it's its own community. People argue the fact that it's canon. Some say it is, some say it's not. I mean, Lavasioth is here, so I guess it kind of is, but regardless, that's not important. It's not important at all. What is important is what this guy is really all about. Now, the Lavasioth, as you can actually expect, he is another Plesios type monster who effectively lives within the lava. I mean, it's directly in the name. Now, they did a couple of changes to him from his previous appearances in the game, or in Monster Hunter as is, but I like these changes. At first, they were a little hard to actually get my head around. Not necessarily hard to get my head around, but I wasn't expecting these changes, truth be told. And because of it, I had to adjust my playstyle just a slight bit. Now, the biggest change to him is that in order to actually do significant damage to his body, once he gets out of the lava itself, his body will harden. Much like, if not literally exactly like the Ignactor, wherein he made his appearance in Monster Hunter Tri. Now, if you don't know the Ignactor, his big deal was he would dig underneath into the molten lava, come up out, and then his body would be look like lava itself. But after a while, it would harden up. And then it would be really hard to actually do real damage to him because it's a shell, so to speak. So it was hard to do the damage until he was actually softened by the lava. The Lavasioth here is the exact same way. There's particular attacks that he will do that will heat up certain parts of his body, namely his chest, so that way where he spits his fireballs, it heats the chest up so that way he can still poke it. But it's kind of hard to get that particular hitbox line up correctly, but it's still definitely a thing. Also, when he slides his body along the ground there, he will effectively have his belly warmed up, I guess you could say, so that way you can actually penetrate his belly and also his legs. But for the most part, if you want to do significant damage to him, you kind of want to actually make sure that he's either in the fire. Yes, you're going to be doing a bit of damage to yourself and doing so. I mean, I figured that, well, I mean, hey, if I got to do damage to him, I might as well, right? So you probably have to stand in the lava quite a bit to actually do damage to him, so that way he can actually stay nice and soft, nice and tender, if you will. But outside of that, he has a couple of new attacks, nothing too super major, but stuff that we should totally talk about. Now, he has a standard flare fireball attack where he'll shoot fireballs, actually a little quicker now than he did before. Very similar to that of the Jiratotos, his brother, I guess his cousin, if you will, that's already in the game. And he also has one big fireball that he'll shoot. He'll charge it up. You'll see him prepare it and everything. He'll charge it up and then he'll spit it out. And the blast radius on this fireball itself is actually really huge because it's an explosive fireball. You do not want to get caught in the blast radius of this. You don't. Trust me. I can attest to this. It may not happen in this video, but I totally carded while fighting him the first time because I was like, yeah, what's this? I was like, another rock fireball thing? Really, bro? He threw that sun out, it exploded, I lost all my health. Okay, it was a drastic turn of events, so you don't want to do that. You see him do it, either block it or get out of the way. I mean, when I mean get out of the way, I mean get out of the way. Another thing is that now, one thing that I actually let him do all by himself now, because as it stands, it's kind of hard to necessarily counter this a bit, is that whenever he wants to dig under the ground, and I guess do his standard fair dig under the ground stuff, he will come up periodically to like pop a couple of fireballs at you, but eventually he's going to do his big diving out of the air attack, or diving from underneath the ground attack. And usually what I would do is, I kind of recommend you guys do this as well, when you see him first burrow under the ground, just put your weapon up and run away a bit. I mean, you see me do it quite often in this video here. He'll dig underground, and then I'm just like, whatever, I'll let him have it, and I'll run around until he actually shoots up from the lava, and I can, you know, continue attacking him like that. So I recommend you do the same thing, because you don't necessarily want to tango with that particular jump attack either, because it does a lot of damage. Also, if you have to block it, it's like 3 hitting. Like, it's a hit upon the exit, it's a hit coming down, and then there's a hit after he's already down for whatever reason. So it's a lot to block, so make sure if you are going to block it, you have quite a bit of stamina, or for whatever reason, if you do block it, you can get pushed out of the hitbox of the attack itself, so that way you don't have to worry about the other the attack that can be blocked. But that's that. Lastly, I want to speak on his I should do this for every monster. I tend to kind of skip over this, and I really apologize about this. Maybe because I'm leaving it for the big breakdown videos that I'll be doing for every monster once I get done doing all these. semi breakdown videos, if you will. But every monster, not, I don't know about every monster. I think every monster. I'm pretty sure every monster. But anyway, the Lavasioth, he himself has what I'm referring to a last ditch effort home base attack. Now, standard fare for practically every monster, like I said before, they have what's known as like, okay, when you have a monster on the ropes and they retreat to their place of sleep, their place of rest, if you will, they will usually have an attack that is relegated to that place and that place alone for the most part. Lavasioth, he will actually dig underground, and then he'll leap like a huge distance, like not necessarily in the air, but horizontal. I mean, it is very high in the air, and it covers a lot of ground as well. He'll leap across the playing field, and he'll rain down a bunch of lava rocks can't talk today, all over the place. And it's pretty devastating, so you kind of want to watch out for that. Again, it's one of these attacks that you will see him do once you have him on his last leg and he's actually retreating to go to bed and things like that. But honestly, Lavasioth, he's kind of annoying. He's actually really annoying, honestly. I mean, I hate to say it, but I carded about like 3 to 4 times fighting this guy. Yes, I admit it. I'll take them knocks on the chin. I surely will. The only reason why I didn't upload them because, well, when I card, that's like 3 minutes to get back to the action. I don't want to make a very long video. That's the only reason why. So I'll let you know that I carded. If I card, I'll let you know. Your man's carded. I was not prepared for that upsurging and then that big fireball attack thing. So, oh, and also again showed up one time, bruh. And then Dodo Gamma showed up one time again, bruh. Bro, there was one where it was no, not Dodo Gamma. I was fighting Lavasioth. Again showed up. I'm like, you know what? Fine, I can deal with 2 at the same time. And then there's this other monster. I don't want to like spoil for you guys, but if you guys been playing quite often, you kind of already know who I'm talking about. He has a lot of explosions. He flies around. He's very annoying. Starts with B, ends with E, that kind of thing. I'm not gonna really say too much else for people who don't really know, but that guy showed up, and I was like, you know what? No. And then I quit it and then came back and tried to do it again. But it can get a little annoying, especially when you have to fight all these guys at the same time. But that's enough with all that. Let's talk about his gear, which is actually pretty surprisingly good. I mean, I admit I didn't think his gear would be this good, but it's actually pretty decent, truth be told. I mean, it's not the greatest, but it's pretty fair. Now, we're looking at the alpha set, of course, then we will go look at the beta briefly. But first, off the rip, we're looking at fire attack level 5. So, if you like fire, boom. Okay, literally, boom. That's fire attack 5. It gives you a bonus 100 points to your fire, and a bonus, again, 10% of the fire. Now, I should totally have this number down for you guys. I should probably do this the very next time I do this video like this, but I'm not sure if that 10% counts on top of that bonus, or is it separate from the bonus and then also gets added to the bonus? Meaning, if you have 200 fire, is that 10% going to be 20 points to your already 200, and then the 100 on top of your 300? Because if it's that case, you'll be at 320 as opposed to 330. See what I'm saying? I'm not sure if that's the case, but if it is, you guys should probably let me know, so that way I know what I'm talking about later. Anyway, so now we're looking at quick sheets. Woo, great. Those 2 skills is pretty much it, honestly. Oh, and another one, I'll get to it in a little bit, but greatly increases sheathing speed. So, man, you'll be putting your weapon up like very, very quickly. And truth be told, I didn't think I was going to make his armor, but I might make his armor simply for this skill. Next, we have Heat Guard. Nullifies heat damage. So, if you're walking around the lava and a place where you actually need to take a cold drink, you don't need to worry about that anymore. No more damage from that because you'll be completely nullified with that. And, I mean, it being a 1-point skill relegated to just the chest piece, that's actually pretty cool. So, if you just want that skill straight up, you can just put the chest on and call it a day. Speaking of 1-piece skills, boom, affinity sliding on the arms. Now, increases affinity by 30% for a short time after sliding. So if you're kind of like one of those people who like to slide around and get those mounts and things like that, I absolutely recommend getting this. I mean, that's 30% affinity for all the sliding you were going to do anyway. So that's a huge boon. If you're fighting a monster that I can totally see most of you use a lot against is Legiana, because it starts at the Coral Highlands on that slope, and you're there for a minute. I mean, it's a lot of sliding you could do right there, but that's what affinity sliding does. Next, we're looking at wide range, which item affect nearby allies with 33% of their efficiency. So 33% of an actual potion gets distributed among you and your allies. I mean, it gets better later on, but I mean, you know, wide range. We know what this is. Recovery up by 10%. So you'll take a potion and it gives you 10% more of that potion to drink. Eventually, all the way giving you up to 30%, which effectively makes potions, the mega potions into not quite max potions, but damn good. Next, we're looking at spread / power shot. So this is a skill for you bow gunners, and you bow gunners and you bow users out there. Increase the attack power of spread ammo and power shot arrows. See, now I can totally see people using this for the arrows because everyone knows spread shot is terrible. We don't do spread shots. So yeah, that's alpha. Now beta is very similar. Of course, nothing too drastic here, but you do lose a couple of things. You do lose your level 5 fire attack, but you still keep your quick sheet 3, your affinity sliding, and your spread and power shots. So I mean, it's kind of a give and take kind of thing. Honestly, I can see myself either mixing matching these two, so that way I can kind of get the preferred skills I actually want. I mean, I wouldn't really care too much for wide range, or what was the other one? It was wide range recovery up. I don't necessarily care too much about. So maybe I can probably, I don't know, piece a couple together to get more fire attack and keep the skills the other, and also keep all the slots of the former. Now lastly, let's talk about his weapons. He only actually has 3 weapons, and that's kind of a bummer, but he has a bowgun, a light bowgun I should say, which is garbage. Don't ever pick it up. He has a great sword and a set of dual blades. Now the great sword is pretty decent, I ain't gonna lie. The attack on it is very nice, and it has a pretty decent amount of fire, but we all know Rathalos, because he's Rathalos, is the king of all the fire. So I mean, honestly, if you just don't feel like fighting Rathalos, that's when to grind out for plates and rubies and things like that, Lavasioth is a very decent alternative. His dual blades though, I can't necessarily put a match to him, because I mean, I haven't really looked at the other competition to it, but I mean, as they stand, they're okay. They just don't have a lot of element. But with that being said, that's his gear. Okay, I mean, the gear is pretty decent, and like I said, it's not the greatest gear in the entire galaxy, but I mean, it's still some pretty nice gear. But Lavasioth is a pretty interesting fight, truth be told. I mean, he's a lot more different than he was before, and he definitely gave me a run for my money. I'm not sure that I'm pretty sure everyone's going, Dak, it is the easiest monster in all of Monster Hunter. How you carded to him, I do not know. I am clearly much better than you. Go ahead, don't care. But that's just me. I mean, yes, I carded to him. Yes, there was a couple of things where he kind of got the better of me on, and I mean, that's fair enough. I mean, whatever. But pretty decent fight, not too totally crazy, but I do like the fact that they actually changed him up a bit, because I mean, he was a very stale monster. I mean, he was necessarily a soft type monster who are usually very stale. I'm glad they actually invigorated my man with a bit of juice. But anyway, guys, it's been your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself. Literally, as I stand, I absolutely do not know what the next monster is, because this